Neighbours. Everybody loves good neighbours, right? And so often in sport, the nearer the opposition, the fiercer the rivalry. Otherwise, a derby would just be a rainy English town where Wayne Rooney now plays his football. But when it comes to being neighbourly, Australian cricket hasn't exactly been one to say, hey, drop round if you need a cup of sugar or a measly test match anytime you like. In fact, Australia have been pretty slack neighbours to New Zealand. I mean, as someone who grew up there, all that little brother stuff, I mean, could we be any more patronising? New Zealand played their first test across the ditch in 1973 and they've played a total of 31 tests there. Only 3 traditional test nations have been less welcome. Bangladesh say hi, and Australia, well, they've hardly bothered to drop in next door either. In the 90s and noughties, New Zealand were unfashionable tourists, but their performances and growing international popularity in this decade, particularly under Brendan McCullum, really forced Cricket Australia to be a little bit more neighbourly. But until now, they didn't exactly lay out the best china. This is the first time since that first tour in 1973 that New Zealand will play in the peak of the summer at the biggest venues. The first time they've played at the MCG or the SCG since 1987. With the new stadium in Perth, that means no current member of the squad has played a test at any of this series venues. All this makes it hard to predict anything. There's just so little to go on. I mean, New Zealand's record is pretty grim, just 3 wins, and only 1 since 1985. Only 4 of their players have more than a few matches worth of experience. It's no surprise that Mr. Consistency Williamson's average has remained steady in Australia. Ross Taylor, he had a blinder at the Wacker last visit, but he struggled most of the time. Bowling-wise, Trent Boult has been dependable, while Tim Southee, not so much. But New Zealand do have a couple more aces in the pack this time. Neil Wagner has never played a test in Australia, but he is ranked number 4 in the world. And his ability to tirelessly hit the pitch hard could be just what New Zealand need. Similarly, conditions may call for a Lockie Ferguson debut. With the bat, well, Tom Latham and BJ Watling are undoubtedly better players than they were 4 years ago, although stronger at home. But still, the sample sizes are pretty meagre. All we can say for sure is that the number 2 ranked test team is going to play a number 5 side that's incredibly hard to knock over at home. And after a pretty dismal series, let's face it, against Pakistan, undoubtedly Cricket Australia is hoping New Zealand bring the crowds and the TV viewers and the excitement. As the old Czech proverb says, a good neighbour increases the value of your property. I'm mostly just saying that because I didn't want to finish with that's when good neighbours become good friends. Except I just have, hey, can we do that again? Can we just do that last bit again?